Today we're talking about as business owners being overwhelmed and frustrated. Okay, so I'm more frustrated, you're more overwhelmed.
Yes. Hey, so why are you frustrated? What's going on?
Okay, so this is why I'm frustrated. So as a business owner, obviously, we do full service design. I'm also opening up another business with a business partner. So we're opening up a showroom. And in the process of doing any kind of construction and opening up a space, you have to get in bids from all your different partners, right? Whether it's construction or plumbing or lighting fixtures, like there's a million parts to this. And that process has been just very long and frustrating. Like it takes companies, people, weeks to get back to us with bids, which I don't understand. Because when I have a client that reaches out with a project, I will turn that bid around in less than a week. Sometimes it can be within 48 hours of when I meet with them. And we started this project in July and it's September, and we still have not gotten bids back with pricing. Like, why does it take 2 months?
Yeah, that's crazy, crazy,
Isn't that
crazy.
insane? And, like, I've never had this in New York, so I don't know if it's more of a Florida thing than in New York because we just all work so fast up there, but so you're in Jersey, so do you have I mean, I know, like, contractors usually will take longer because, they have to estimate all the trades and all that, but, I mean, even just the vendors that I wanna use for kitchen appliances and plumbing fixtures, these are local businesses. Why does it take weeks and weeks to get a bid? That is not normal.
They're overwhelmed.
You're putting me on the back burner? Is that what's going on?
Think that small businesses are like, what are they? 97% of all businesses in the United States are small businesses. Business. I mean, that's fewer than. I mean, like the numbers are staggering about how many small businesses there are, under like 5 people,
Yeah.
and we mainly do work with small people. Don't they understand that?
Look, somebody said they're not interested.
Well,
They're
there
not
and for
interested
that.
in business and making money?
They're not interested. I mean, I think that they are, but it's like, how do I do this? How do
Then
I do that?
then respond and say that.
Is it really gonna bring in the revenue that they are hoping? And so they're like, "Okay, I'm gonna be over here." But also, like, as a small business owner, you're, like, trying to put out fires and trying to create
Yeah.
business. I mean,
Yeah. And it's interesting because I met with a new client last week and it's a small project, right? It's like a pantry and a bar. It's very small, but it involves a lot of work.
yeah,
So, she
God.
said she had a contractor that came and then, ghosted her. And I know why they ghosted her because it's a small project. Because while if he doesn't have a lot of work, maybe he'll take it on. But if in that process someone comes in with like a full kitchen remodel or, an addition or something, they're gonna put their effort towards the bigger project, right? Because 'Cause they're
Right.
make more money, which makes sense. But it's just, then just respond to people. Just be like, "You know what? I can't do the project at this time. It's not working for me." Something.
Negligence or passive aggressive. I think it's an East Coast. I think that's an East Coast vibe. With the Northeast, passive aggressive.
No, I'm just like,
I know it. That's so frustrating because you really
because
want
sir,
to,
if it's gonna take you that long to get me back to me, how can I work with you?
yeah. And how do I know that you're actually going to be able to work with me on the timeline that we agree to? I mean, the initial reach outs, even if it's look at I'm not available to do that work, response at least you want if you can get that, you're like, okay, at least they can communicate. First
Yes.
step. But when they're not responding and holding
And this
back,
is
we're
people
like,
I know. I'm not reaching out to strangers.
yeah, oh, I'm sorry. That's frustrating. Like you said, that's frustrating. It's frustrating because you wanna do the work. You're bringing work for people
Yeah.
to work together and,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
you
I
don't
wanna bring on partners and collaborate this way. When we have clients that come in, I can refer them like, "Oh, for plumbing fixtures, this is where we're gonna go." Other local businesses, but I need to be able to rely on them that if I bring a project, we're gonna be able to get pricing in something
Yep.
reasonable, a week or 2, not 2 months.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I
Absolutely.
don't think that's any asking for too much.
No, it's not. And, it's because yeah, I have to say I spend a lot of time following up. I have a lot of like we're always changing our SOPs, we're always changing, like, how we do things, looking at it to say, "Okay, how can we elicit a response faster?" Or not just that, it's also like, "We need this response, so call him today, call him again, call him tomorrow, call him again." And when
Chasing down people all day long.
yeah,
That's
and
what we do.
right, exactly, and when you're in the project, like, now you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
You're like, "I need this, it's gotta get done, I'm chasing you down."
yeah.
Yeah, but when you're trying to get started and you're chasing down, it's like, "Oh, do I
Not
really?
good.
Is this the person I wanna work with?" Because we haven't even started,
Yeah.
you know, we haven't even started and we can't even get a response from you. So
Exactly, just respond.
just say, "Can't do it, not available." I mean, I would say that I'm guilty a little bit of that, because we get a and I'm sure the same is for you, Elizabeth, that I get a lot of inquiries. "Hey, check your website, SEO, I can give you social media, here's more marketing." And some of them I get back to. I just
Yeah,
like, "Sorry, not at this time." But there are days and weeks where I'm inundated and I say to myself, "This I'm sorry, I just cannot give you a response."
yeah. Well, I can understand not responding to, like, cold emails and calls because we get those all day long,
Yeah.
but when it's people that you have a relationship with and that you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
even
weird.
as simple, but, occasionally things slip through the cracks too.
Yeah,
So, I know that, that's happened with me. It slips through the crack, like, "Oh my god, how did I not respond to this? Whoops." But,
y
you just keep doing better.
yeah,
Yeah, like I tell my clients that that's the advantage of working with me is that I've created these relationships with these trades and I have that I know that they're going to respond. But on top of that, I have the leverage because I'm not a one-off. I'm just not going to do one thing and that's it. They're never going to see me again.
yeah.
They're going to see me again and again if they show up, if they're doing the work to my standards, right? But they're gonna be doing the work, so why not just do it like that? Like, why not just because if they work with me, if they're communicating and they're working and the communication is there and I'm getting responses and maybe things happen that slow the project down, but I'm still getting communication,
Yeah.
that means way more than like the fact that the work has gotten, stalled for whatever reason. I mean, it just happens. I get that.
Yeah, things happen, but yeah, the
Yeah.
communication is so important.
Yeah. That brings me to my overwhelm. Just a lot of projects, taking on lots of projects, so exciting, big projects. I still take on the smaller projects too. They can be fun and they can be rewarding. Like I've just finishing up one and doing another one where they have the pieces, but there's just doesn't look good. Like it needs to be shuffled around and revised and they need some wallpaper and window treatments, pieces to just pull the whole vision together. And actually those couple of projects have worked really well because the clients are staying on with me, like, they're not moving on to something else, like, they're not saying, "Okay, yeah, maybe I'll do something else, and I'll do something else here, and listen to me and then move on," like
Yeah,
or don't listen to me, like, they hear me, but they don't listen, and then they do their things, and then they come back, and then they're like that which is why I don't like to do, like, smaller projects where I'm sort of just yeah. But if it really depends on the client, and if when the clients are like, "Okay, pull it together. Here's your like, we figured out the scope. Pull it together. I'm gonna sign on," and it
and
works.
they trust you, and they kinda
Yeah,
let you guide them, which is really important.
right. Because I mean, and the hardest part is that I have the vision. You have the vision. I can walk into a room, and when by the time talk to the clients, I have a vision for how the room is gonna look. I know it.
Yeah,
I might not know all the details, but I know what the feel of everything is, and so now I just have to put that down on paper, so then when I go to present, that they can have that vision. But
right.
then as things get created, we start doing a little, "Well, that looks kind of big." And I'm like,
I
"No,
know. It's
hang
like,
on.
just wait till it's done.
Yes. Don't worry, it feels out of place, it
Yeah,
looks like the wrong color, it's, whatever reason, just hang on because you can't look at it in this vacuum of being by itself.
Exactly.
So how do you convince clients? You reassure. I don't try to convince, I
Right.
reassure. I
Exactly.
speak from a place of confidence because I have the confidence.
And the experience, when you have the experience, you can prevent them from making mistakes and you know what's gonna, be coming down the pipeline. And so that is what our responsibility is to keep them informed and guide them as best as possible to achieve what they want.
Right. I guess, yeah, I it's just guiding, and what I'll also say is, "Okay, well, then how do you see this going?" And giving them an opportunity if they're not convinced, "Well, it's too big. Why do how do you see this going?" "Well, it's too big because I'm like, "Okay, but we haven't got the 17-foot sectional in here." Yes, the coffee table looks, for whatever reason. I mean, I like to install it all at once, but when you see this 6-foot coffee table with the 17-foot sectional, it's gonna be in scale. It's gonna feel good. You have to trust, I know what I'm doing. And believe me, I'm always second guessing myself too. I'm like, "Was that too big? No, 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 it's fine.
Yeah.
I've laid it out."
And I think when we do that as designers, because a lot of times, even like we present something or we show something to somebody and they're like, "Are you sure that's gonna work?" Like sometimes that'll be the response.
Right.
So you really like have to trust in your vision and kind of have a thick skin because like especially if you have the experience and you know what you're doing to
Yeah,
be confident in your choices and your decisions and to know that are putting every effort to, make the best result and outcome for the client.
be confident in your
Yeah.
decision and stick with it, don't worry.
Yeah, and
But
it's
you
harder for what new designers. You're learning and you're growing and, you need to make a lot of mistakes to get to the point where you can be 100% confident in, your decisions, right?
Yeah, you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
Most of them are not life-threatening.
Yeah.
Probably all of them are not life-threatening. So, but it does, when the clients are questioning, it does kind of make you rethink. So you have to stand in your space. You have to stand in your own knowing that it's going to work out because you've done this. Even if you are new, you were steps ahead of the client
Right.
because you've now thought of it, you've pulled it together, whatever it is, you're steps ahead of them because they haven't even gotten that far. So the 99% chance, okay, there may be a mistake somewhere, but it's usually fixable, like easily fixable.
Yeah.
I remember client, we were doing 2 rooms. Well, we had done 1 room, now we're on to the other room, and we got this side table, and it was like, "Ooh, doesn't fit in this room." Like, it just didn't fit. So we went into the other room, and I'm like, "That side table will work better over there, and then we'll take this one and put it." It was fine.
Right, you just swap things around, yes.
Yeah, and it worked out. I was like, "Oh, how it felt good when I presented and looked at it." And then I don't know for some reason but when we got to it was just too dark. It and I'm like, "Hmm." But it worked out, and, you can always figure out a way to make it work out.
Exactly, totally agree.
Yeah, so I'm actually thinking about what am I thinking about right now? Hiring a design assistant. That's my
Okay.
thing, and I've reached out to a local college to look for interns and see if anybody's graduating.
That's
Just a junior that can come and, support,
Yeah.
and I can be training because I have all this work, but a lot of it I don't personally have to do myself. Like, that is do this, do this, do this, and they can do it.
Right.
It's not like, okay, I need to think up the vision. So I need to give myself more time for vision, more time for business building, more time to work on the business.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
And it's exciting. I mean, I've got a fantastic assistant. She does like project when she's over at a project right now because
Okay.
I'm trying to finish up a presentation. She's over there like making sure that all that hit list is getting done.
Okay.
I'm
That's
like,
good.
okay, why are they putting she sent me a picture. I'm like, why are they putting the tile like that? She's like, yeah, I just want to confirm. I'm like, yeah, tell them to
Yeah.
stop. Right.
Oh, that's
So, but she's great and she does all the project management. She does pricing and invoicing and then samples and stuff. You hire a freelancer. I have in the past. Have you ever hired a freelancer to work with you?
I I mean, on a project basis, I think I have in the past, yeah.
On a project basis, I do.
Yeah,
I have in the past, but, yeah,
but now
it's
you have
like
to be regular, like, full-time.
yeah, semi-regular because the projects can take time.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about a 6-month project, to bring somebody in for like, "Okay, I just need you to do this," doesn't really work. Because how do I get them onto the same page as me? There's a lot of catch up and,
Yeah,
you
you have
know
to explain the whole process
yeah,
too, of, like, how you work and your systems, and
right.
so that can be exhausting to have to do
So
over and over
I'll
again.
use a freelancer for, doing drawings because that's easy. Like, I've already documented the space, I send it to them, they send me the room layout, and then I'll fill it in with furniture, and then they'll put it in and make it all pretty,
Yeah.
and that's just easy instead of me having to, draw it out. Because I still hand draw. Do you use AutoCAD? What are you using a program? Because I learned AutoCAD, but then I really wasn't using it, so and I like to
I don't use
draw.
AutoCAD.
What do you use any?
Initially, sometimes I like to still do hand sketching, especially with sizing, like, I'll do that first. I feel like it's more accurate, and then I'll put it into the system that I use for
Okay.
rendering and floor plans.
Yeah, for rendering and
But I
stuff.
always check everything with by hand
Interesting.
with my little, architectural ruler.
Yeah, I have a little one. I
Yeah.
love this one.
I can't do anything without it, it's, like, the best thing, yeah.
So useful.
I feel like it's so accurate, I just always have to do a drawing with that.
Interesting, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I like to hand draw because I find that when I'm doing it, I really get a really good spatial understanding when I'm hand drawing it. I mean, it takes a little time. I learned AutoCAD, but I think now if I were to get back on it, it would take a little more time for me to do AutoCAD. And
Yeah.
then I send it
I
out
have
for
no interest in doing AutoCAD.
well, that's it. I have
I'd
no
rather
interest.
pay someone to do it.
I'd rather pay someone, they can do it boom, 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 and then I also pay someone to do my renderings and stuff too. Of course, that, requires consulting and, like, I have to spend time saying, "Do this and do that," but, like, I don't wanna learn those programs
Yeah.
because it's just way easier to have somebody who really knows what they're doing, and they can create it so much faster.
Your time is more valuable spent doing something else.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it too.
yeah. So, I do like, that's how I hire freelancers.
Yeah.
So that's what we got about frustration and overwhelm. I'm sure anybody who has a small business, I mean, I'm sure even in big businesses too, but
But yeah, and they're frustrated and overwhelmed too.
right. It's just, nature of
Most
the
people
beast.
are.
There's lots of things you want to accomplish. And when people are not at the same speed as you,
Yeah.
it's can be frustrating and then it can be overwhelming because then you're having to do it all. So don't do it all. Hence,
Yeah.
best thing I ever did was hire an assistant. Best thing I ever did. Seriously. Allowed me to do so much more. Allowed me to do these podcasts with you,
See?
Elizabeth. Go and check out my YouTube, Risha Walden. I got a podcast on there and I got some business development, some YouTube videos that I'm doing on just giving you good ideas. Giving ideas. And by the way, this is not Tuesday, it's Wednesday. There you have two designers who say they're going to do something on Tuesday. Well, no, it was my fault. Last minute, I had this whole carpet fiasco, but it all worked out, turned out great.
Yeah.
And of course, then the guy gets a flat and
Oh, that's why he was late. Oh my
I'm
god.
like,
That's so funny.
"Great!" Messed up my whole morning. My whole morning taken up with this one little carpet thing, but it's all done.
Yeah.
Client's happy, it's all perfect.
Okay, good.
So
Yeah,
that was fun.
I have a project that I'm gonna be finishing up this weekend. I'm getting the last of the furniture delivered on Friday, so I'm excited about that, and then I'll spend the weekend doing, like, the finishing touches.
Good. Those clients are out of town, right?
Yeah, they don't live there, which is good, and then right after I finish that this weekend, we're gonna put the house on the market, so
Oh, okay,
I
great. Oh,
sell
yeah.
it,
It's
yeah.
more like staging, but just getting it looking great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that was fun, I actually enjoyed doing that
Well,
because there was
it's
no construction involved.
right. No
So,
construction.
like, I like to fill in with little projects like that where I can just it's furniture, it's all the fun stuff, and, there's no stress of construction, so those are great
Right.
Fill in, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying about those little projects,
Yeah.
where they have some stuff. So I've got one in the city and it's like he's got most of the furniture, but he just needs some there's not much construction. I wouldn't say construction, but needs some wallpaper, needs some window treatments, and we need to reshuffle his furniture. So it'll be quick and look like it'll like take it up a ton. Because we're not just putting furniture in a room.
Right.
Like, the end of the day, it's like, yeah, if you're hiring me to put furniture in a room, you are not getting the benefit of working with an interior designer.
Exactly.
So I was having a conversation with a potential client the other day, and he's like, well, we don't need that much furniture to put down. And he didn't have a problem with my design fee,
Yeah.
but he had a problem about the investment amount for the furniture.
Mm.
And I'm like, and I was saying to him, okay, it doesn't make sense to be spending half of your budget on my design fee and the other half on the furniture
Mm.
because you're not going to get the value of me doing the design. Because
Right.
if my fee's 10 and you're spending 10 on furniture and you need everything for this 20 by
Right.
12-foot room, like you're not going to be able to do anything.
Right.
So I don't really want to work like that because you're going to be unhappy. Like I'm not going to be able to
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to meet your needs,
Mhm.
and you're gonna come back and be like, "Oh, well, that was a waste of money." And I'm gonna be like, "Wow, that was a waste of time because I put together all the pieces, all the details,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna be able to do any of them."
So is he gonna up his budget on the furniture?
I don't know. I sent him this stuff, and I said, "Well,
Yeah.
this is how someone asked me, how do you convince a client?" I don't convince them. This is the other thing I do. Like in the case of, oh, well, we only want to spend 20 grand on this, 20 by 24-foot living room. I'm like, okay, great, 20 grand. Well, how do you see spending that?
Yes.
How do you see spending it? Well, so they're like, well, I'm thinking, sofa, 2 grand, couple of chairs, $1,500 for two chairs, a cocktail table, and two side tables, cocktail table, maybe $800, and, two side tables and a lamp. And that's like, 10 grand somewhere in there. I'm like, well, what about carpeting? What about your wall treatments? You got window treatments?
Windows, yeah.
Floor?
Yeah.
Have you thought about that? And when was the last time you went and bought a sofa?
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, I cannot get a sofa for 2 grand that's gonna fit and be in proportion to this very large room. And I'm not going on Wayfair to shop because when you have a problem, you're gonna come back to me. And like, how can I deal with it?
Yeah.
Like, personally, I like my local vendors. I like to have them that I use because I have a problem. I go to them. Hey, this is a problem. What's going on? You know.
Yes, that's why we use our trade vendors and we have specific companies that we work with for specific things because we know that issues are going to happen, things are going to arrive damaged, there's going to be a problem. Like that just happens. And when it does, we need to be able to pick up the phone and have somebody that will answer and be responsive and take care of it. And
And
so,
take care of it, right.
yeah. And that's why our vendors are our vendors and we don't disclose them because that's inner workings of our business.
I mean,
Just the
you
way
go
it
to a
is.
restaurant, do you say, "Where'd you get that steak from? King?" Or whatever, Publix,
And I
whatever it
wanna
is?
pay what you paid for it. No,
Yeah. Like,
they're charging it
I
over
always get
always for a $10 steak. It is what it is.
yeah. You're not paying for the steak. You're paying for everything that came
The
with the steak.
experience. Yeah,
And when the steak comes and you wanted it rare and okay, I'm a vegan, but you want it rare and it's well done, you send it back. And
right.
they've accounted for the fact that they are gonna, that they're not gonna do that, whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can't get don't get me started on that. On that thing. That thing. We'll talk about that next time. We'll talk about that. We should talk about
yeah,
that next time because that's something that can drive me crazy.
yeah,
Um,
agreed.
yeah. So we try to be here. We try to be here for live every Tuesday.
Yes. The time may fluctuate but for the most part, it's gonna be 8:30.
That's right. 8:30.
8:30 to 9, we'll do 30 minutes.
Yeah. But like as all small business owners, we're not perfect.
Sometimes we have to put out fires,
Exactly. But it's okay.
but we'll make it up at some point. You can replay these.
Yeah. Well, you can always find it on YouTube. We post them after on YouTube. So
Yeah.
for
And
anybody who
Instagram.
wants listen to our frustration and our
Our banter.
banter. Or, you're just a small business owner and or a designer and one thing that why Elizabeth and I, were attracted to each other and started talking was because we were really open about how we did business. Like
Yeah.
how the problems that we were having, the trials and the tribulations, but we were open about it. A lot of times in this industry can be a lot of time in this industry, everybody can be very protective of like they don't want to share. They don't want to share information and there's a competition. So yeah, I found with Elizabeth and, clearly she feels the same way because she's still talking to me.
Well, we don't gatekeep. We just are very open and honest about things that are happening in our business because when you're open and you share, like we can help each other because we all have we face the same issues and experiences and the goal is for us to help each other and grow in our businesses. So
Yeah.
somebody just made a comment, what if the client know the vendor and that client buys directly from them? What's your thoughts on it? Yeah. So this, of course, has happened to all of us as designers. And I've actually had this happened recently with me with a client and they, were like, "Oh, I found this whatever it was, online for less." And I said, "I work with certain vendors because of the experience, obviously, for full service that I provide. You can find anything online that looks similar at a cheaper price, no matter what it is. That's the world we live in. But then if you want to order that, that is all on you to place the order, deal with whatever comes from that. Like I don't work unless I am ordering it. I don't work. So if
Yeah.
that's something that they decide they're going to find something else and order it online, they have to deal with the issues that comes with it. They have to be there for delivery, inspect it. If there's a problem, they have to take on that mess because I am not going to do it. I will only work with the vendors that I trust, that I know I can provide great service. And I'm also project managing that whole order.
Yeah.
The client will then have to project manage the order. I mean, what do you do, Risha?
Yeah, same. Or, because it's a lot to do the logistics and the purchasing and logistics of
Yeah.
the oversight on product. It's a lot of work.
Mhm.
And, we're not ordering like out of the box pieces. It's custom by the style, the finish, the upholstery, the dimensions, and all
Exactly.
those key components are important in the piece. And it's communicating that to make sure it gets done. And then when it does come, was it done the way it was supposed to? Because plenty of times things have come. "Oh, recently I had a mirror. Now that wasn't like spec, the mirror, there were 2 mirrors, actually same name by the same company, and they didn't specify. I ordered it. I ordered the small one, so when I went to pick it up, because I was gonna go drop it off to my client, and he's like, "Well, how are you gonna put it in your car?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "It's a really big mirror." I'm like, "No, it's not."
Yeah.
That was on him. He had ordered the wrong mirror.
Okay.
He had ordered the full-length mirror, and I just wanted a vanity mirror.
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, well, that's on you."
Yeah. And it had to be fixed. But if the client had ordered it themselves online and that thing showed up at their house, now good luck trying to return a full-length mirror because you're gonna spend more in shipping and it's not even
Exactly.
gonna be worth it.
It's not gonna be worth it, and the time that it takes, etcetera.
Exactly.
And the other thing is that I try to protect myself by putting in my contract that, all purchasing goes through me.
Yes, and I do the same, and any designers that are listening to this, if you don't have that in your contract, you should put it in your contract that all
Absolutely.
purchasing goes through you.
Especially if you're doing full service,
Yes.
soup to nuts. It's so complicated anyways, and having different places where you're, like,
Yeah.
acquiring pieces and the clients are gonna go off and get that, like, it's
Right.
gonna dilute your design because you're not gonna be able to get what you probably have specified.
And it's not in your control. Then you have to find out from the client, did you order this? Is it shipping? Like, what is the store?
When is it coming? And
And you
you're
can't
like,
deal with that.
yeah, you don't. So I make that clear, like right at the beginning. That's part of my initiation consultation.
Mhm.
Hey, all purchasing goes through me. Now, occasionally, we were traveling. I found this piece. I'm like, okay, well, or my mom has this piece. Can we use it? Yeah. Well, I'm flexible, but I'm reasonable. Like, I'm reasonable to myself.
Wait, I can't hear you anymore.
How to get the first client. Go and talk to your friends. Go to your
Referrals.
Go talk to all the people you know. Tell them that you're doing design.
Yeah.
And every single friend, introduce yourself to them, show them your portfolio. Or if you don't have a portfolio, like start taking pictures of places in your home or something that you've done.
Yeah.
Or go and do a friend's home and then use that as pictures. So, and then start talking about it. Reach out to contractors, reach out to architects.
Promote yourself on social media, but referrals are always going to be your best way to get clients,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Alrighty. Well, we're done. We can keep talking, but we're going to be here next week, Tuesday at 8:30.
Yes. See you next week. Join us every Tuesday, and thank you for spending some time with us today. Bye.